Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Lesia the Preacha. Okay. Guys, first of all, I just want to say that because I'm a woman, a person who had a womb, my uterus is taken out. But, I had a uterus. I gave birth to children. So I share stories from that experience. I've never been a man, so I cannot share stories from a man's perspective. All I can do is just apologize and hope that when I offend you, that you can forgive me. Because when I offend you, it's just because I'm not you. No other reason. I am me. So I have to tell stories from my limited view, my limited experience, you know. So it is what it is. Anywho, because I was exposed to the concept of sex, whether right or wrong, this isn't a moral conversation here. Um, whether right or wrong, I was exposed to sex as early as age 5. Age 5 is when sex was introduced to me. At that age, because my parents divorced, I'm just going to say because my parents divorced. Um, that's the most broadened way to explain it. Of course, it runs so much deeper than that. It runs so much deeper than that. But I would say divorce is the platform. Because my parents divorced when I was age 5, it exposed me to 3 different uncles touching me for the next 6 years. And I know and knew then, I was a child and knew, but I know even to this day that that was an unfair advantage. Again, we're not talking right or wrong and morals and all that. Okay. Of course, it's disgusting and wrong for, a child to experience such a thing. Okay. But I'm talking about the fact that I had such a huge advantage sexually than my chosen partners later in life. You know, it gave me insight on how, boys and men can be before I even, went on my first date. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I'm married and I'm in my second marriage and it's 2011 and this man think that he can play in my face. You know what I mean? Guys, now I'm doing, you know, as best I can as a wife and mom, actually a pretty darn good job. But to him, I ain't never been shit. So, when someone you're married to for 25 years think you ain't shit at all, it's kind of difficult to come back and say, I'm the best out here. You know what I mean? It's really a challenge, especially in today's market when Black men take pride in ditching a Black woman to be with any other woman. And in our case, he left me for a white neighbor of some type. And so I really can't brag about being a good wife because he left me for a white woman. How fair is that? It's not, but that's the world we live in. So, anywho, he thought that his rejection would destroy me. Now, it did crush me. It did hurt me. It did damage. Absolutely, it did damage. No doubt about it. But it did not utterly destroy me, just like the Bible said. I believe in the word. So I didn't have to prevent him from hurting me. I didn't have to prevent it much. It's natural to have some type of defense. You know, all I used basically was natural defense. But I believe the Bible. I believe that there was nothing my husband could do to me that will utterly destroy me. Period. I wasn't in the financial position to be on my own. I didn't have the type of financial backing to be, on my own and away from him. So I had to endure him with faith. I had to endure him with my belief. I had to endure him with the word of God. And the Bible said that no matter what that man was going to say and do to me for the next 10 years, that he will not utterly destroy me. So he thought that his rejection of me was going to utterly destroy me. It bruised me, it damaged me, it hurt. But guess what? I just doubled down on his ass. Oh, you don't want me? Boom, 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 boom. We were always having sex. Oh, you don't want me? My naked ass was in his face 24/7, pretty much. I became a nudist, literally. I was a nudist, having sex with him all the time, opened up the marriage. We became swingers. You don't want me? Okay, no problem. No problem. I became everything I thought I wanted to be and not at his expense. At his expense. He didn't want me, but he didn't want to divorce me until 10 years later. No problem. I'm in Jamaica, naked on the beach. I'm at Hito, y'all. You don't want me? Bet. Book me a trip to Jamaica. Naked, doing cartwheels. I don't even have a butt, but I'm twerking, having a great time. You don't want me? Bet. I got rid of all my wifely, motherly looking clothes, and I became my best version of an old, unwanted sex symbol that I could cough up. So as he was ditching me, we opened up the marriage, um, because he's doing all his dirt in secret. Okay, he obviously had his secret lovers lined up out there, waiting to pick whoever's next. As he kicked me to the curb, I watch Lifetime movies 24/7. I see the play constantly. Speaking of the play, um, we have this coach here in Michigan that cheated on his wife and kids. Y'all know the story. So anyway, that's normal here in Michigan. My husband did the same damn thing. Now this man is married to a white woman, cheating with a young white girl. I'm like, when will these black men ever be satisfied? You got a white woman. You got one. Ain't gonna lose everything for another one. Guys, make it make sense. But back to my black husband, ex-husband, okay? So anyway, yeah, so I just, I just went all the way sexually evil. All the way. All the way. Pretty much exposing what he was doing in private. What he was doing in private, I just brought it all to public. And here we are today. I'm an extremist. I'm an extremist. That's just who I am. So, yeah, his deep rejection, in my case, in my case. Now, some women, when their husbands reject them, they can just keep their legs closed and be praying and be all holy and stuff. Well, that wasn't me. I went to Jamaica and got naked on the beach. Okay. And I realized a whole lot of stuff about myself, good and bad. Good, I realized that I wanted to preach and teach, and I wanted a church. And I also realized that I can be so bad that I can be naked on the beach in Jamaica in front of a bunch of white people from all over the world. That's how bad I can be. And I can be so great, I can preach and teach. I just went on and explored the full range of myself. You know, why not? Kind of like King Solomon in the Bible. Not that I expect to be a king or nothing like that, or, you know, a man or nothing like that. But I do feel like the only thing different between me and a man is my ability to have a baby, which, channels my strength into the womb. His strength is channeled to the outside of him, and my strength is channeled to the inside. That's it. To me, that's the only difference between me and a man. But, the world may have its own views on the difference. But in the beginning, he created male and female. He created they, them. There is no real separation, just an inner and outer type of thing. But anyway, so yeah, you know, um, but what I like about becoming sexually evil, defiant, deviant, and all that during that season, which right now I'm just, doing nothing. I'm completely celibate, like 3 years now. Nothing. No man has seen me, touched me, whatever. It's all me now. I love it. Love it, guys. I didn't think I would. I had no idea that being untouched, unwanted, felt so good. I mean, how could I know? I was 5, guys, when this shit started. I was 5 being touched. 5. How could I possibly know what it was like to be untouched until recently? It was a gift. Now I know the world say you just ugly old black, and don't nobody want you just because, just by default, you know. But I'm saying above and beyond that, once you're in that state, it's beautiful, is what I'm saying. There's a beauty to it, you know, in my case. In my case, because I've been touched, violated since age 5. So this is a gift for me to be untouched, to be unwanted, to be undesired, to be too ugly, to be too, oh, guys, it's a gift. So I can speak the way I speak so freely. So I can say that I'm glad that when I became sexually evil, defiant, and a deviant, and all of that during that stage of my marriage, that I included him too. It just would have been wrong to be out there doing any and everybody else. Not that I did that, but I'm just saying that's the image that I was living with. It was not the reality, but that was the image that I had to suffer in order to be free of that marriage. I had to endure a bad reputation. I did a bunch of research before I put myself in that position. And I knew I could endure the bad reputation. I knew it would be hard. I didn't know it would be that hard because even my own family rejected me. My own bloodline rejected me. It got that tough, but that's okay. I got my womb. I got my kids and my grandkids. They love me and I see them every day. I had to fight to get them back because it got a little shaky there too. I fought to get them back. They mine. Anything that's yours is worth the fight to get back. Okay? Anything that's not yours, let it stay gone. Right? So anyway, but yeah. Because I know what's true concerning me, and I know what's not true. I do because I'm me, and I was there or not, right? So I had to let myself decrease, just fall through the cracks, and let him rise, rise, rise in his pride and glory and false image, just so that I can be free today. And I'm thankful for it. And I'm not bragging or nothing like that. I live in a hood and, it is what it is. I'm alive. I'm alive. But during that time, I just felt like I ain't want to be one of them sisters who go out like that. I'm out there, being with other people, even if it's one or two or three or whatever. It don't matter the quantity. In my case, it was just a few. But I'm out there giving it to anybody other than my husband. Anybody other than my husband. And not giving it to my husband, that's a crime. That where I come from, that don't make no damn sense. None of it make any damn sense at all. But that really don't make no damn sense. So at least my husband benefited from my hoish days in the marriage. Because he the one that put me in a position to be that way. I was married to somebody who was never, ever expected, really to a degree, to be faithful to me. My first husband, I was faithful to him, loyal to him, even though he never, ever was to me. During dating, during marriage, none of that. So it ain't like I don't know how to be with a man that's not faithful. I was touched at 5, so I really don't expect much from men. Just work and pay the damn bills. Work and pay the damn bills, and I'm gonna make sure everything else is good. Everything else gonna be good. So, cheating on me and all that don't whatever. You know what I mean? I was the head cheerleader. All the cheerleaders, well, not every single one, but a lot of them. Any guy I dated, they wanted him to. So I already knew any guy I dated, all my cheerleader friends, the majority of them was going to sleep with him. That was just the life I signed up for. When you hang out with jocks and all that, that's your whole life is being with jocks, performers, and things like that. There's really not a lot of fidelity in that lifestyle. And you know what you're walking into. So I never act like, I didn't know. And I didn't make my first husband feel bad. When I realized I was being replaced, I just got the hell out the way. And I got out the way, and within a few weeks, his next wife was in my house. I mean, I had to go through the divorce process, but the next woman was in my home within a few weeks. That's how it is with these athletes and jocks and stuff. They got women on standby, line long. The line is long. And the moment you step out, baby, the next one is right there. That's what I went through in that first marriage. And that's what happened. And he's still balling to this day. People be talking about karma and all that. Well, his karma is wife number 3, balling, living wonderful. So I don't understand all this karma that men get. Just consequences to their actions. If you cheat enough, you're gonna come across a few women who can't handle it and will bust your windows out your car and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, that was never me. 'Cause I like driving the cars. And it's like busting out my own car windows to a degree. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm just different in that regard. Just in that regard. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, so you don't want me, so you just any other nigga out here. So you going from husband to being a sucker. Right in the marriage. You're going from husband to being a sucker right in the marriage. Cool, bet. So, the kids and I, we just started living our best life. Because when I was being the best wife, making sure everything was budgeted to the T, all bills on time, our credit scores were like 780. We both had 780 credit score. Own everything. You know what I'm saying? College degrees, both got PhDs. Own it, y'all. But again, we black women, we trash. We ain't shit. We don't do nothing. We lazy. But I had us all our bases were covered. I treat him as well as me. Anything I did, I want a PhD, baby, you got to get one too. You know. Oh, I'm a school board member, baby. What can you what board can you be on now? You know what I mean? Anything, that's just who I am. You know. So, but anyway, but the world we live in, I ain't shit. I ain't never done shit. I'm just an old unwanted, hoe. Go die, and that's cool. Whatever. But what I'm saying is, I'm proud. If there's any pride in evil, if there's any pride in evil, which we know it ain't, but I'm just being, like that. I'm from the hood, y'all. We talk like this. So yeah, so at least when I put my whole ass out there, when my husband put me out there, at least I was giving it to him too. And I learned that. I'm gonna tell you how I learned that. I had uncles and a daddy that was pimps. My daddy and his brothers. I had some pimps, in the family. My own daddy was a pimp, guys, and his brother was a really good one down in Tampa, Florida. And so back in the day when I was visiting my uncle, he was married to a white woman, which was one of his women, and she was the main one. And so she had to always break him off, you know what I'm saying, before she get out there. And the only reason he married her is because he had gotten to it and he got both his legs broke and all the hoes left. But the one that stuck by him, this particular white woman, had stuck by him. And he went on to marry that hoe, because she was loyal like that and helped him get back on his feet. And, they got some more girls back up or whatever. And, so he married that hoe. But, so I know I learned early on that, no matter if the man love you or not, you love him or not, all that love and all that kind of shit don't matter. As long as you together, as long as you still together, play your role, play your part, play your part. So me and my husband, he made very clear he regretted me ever marrying my ass and all of that. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, well then, what's the solution? But still needed me to help finish raising the kids. Bad, no problem. But buddy, we're gonna open up this relationship because I know I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna need some help along the way. I ain't the biggest hoe out there, but I do know that I'm gonna need some help to get through these next 6 years. Somebody gonna have to touch me sometime. Somebody gonna have to look at me, act like they love me every once in a while. Some. He was expecting me to go 6 years with no love, no touch, no hope. I'm like, hell no. Now I did have 5 suicide attempts because it was really hard. He did not want me. He did not love me. But because he paid all the bills and I didn't have financial freedom, you know, I endured that shit because I had to get all the kids grown. I had to get all the kids to a certain place. And then I just had to just run his pockets. He went from a husband that was being respected and being treated as well as me to being just a ran through motherfucker. That was his choice. That was his choice. And then he ran his ass out the door to some white woman. Cool. Stay gone. Because he got real nasty along the way too. He touched my daughter. He stole her lover. Who steal their own daughter's lover? And to this day, Sugar Baby is in his life too. He got the white woman, the Sugar Baby, birthday twins, work wives, all the hoes out there. He got all the other hoes except this one. And that's cool. As long as he paid the bills over here, I'm good. The bills are still being paid by him. And that's all that matters. All the other hoes can devour him up, his flesh, as long as I have the benefits. Because I earned that 25 years. So anyway, yeah. But I just wanted to, just say, hey, I was putting it down on him. And I think that really made it hard for him to leave because he put 3 more years in. He was supposed to be gone at year 6, but he ended up hanging around 3 more years. Either he and the white woman couldn't figure out quite how to get their wedding planned out. fast enough and just use 3 more years of my life, or I was putting that sex on him without, you know what I mean? Because when you a hoe, you don't have to love the Johns, the tricks out there. You don't love them, you know? And he paid all my bills, so of course he gonna get the most sex. That just makes sense. Anyway, guys, that's just me talking my shit. Thank you all for listening. Somebody said, "What the hell is this?" This is a hood preacher who just speaking her truth. That's it. I am not suburban preacher. I'm not a suburban preacher who's all proper and everything. I'm straight out the hood, and we know the Bible too. Just because you in the hood don't mean you don't have any education at all. Don't mean you don't know the Bible at all. We just speak in a very colorful way. That's it. That's the only difference. But we out. You all, I love you all. Be blessed. Pray for me. I pray for you. Those who know me, and those who ain't never heard me before, you know, just be blessed. Praise the Lord. You can praise the Lord in the hood, in the suburbs. It don't matter where you at. He'll use a rock. So if he can use a rock to praise him, he can use me. I'm just saying. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. And just because your husband act like he don't want you until you're divorced, wear that ass out. Wear that ass out. Make him regret ever saying some shit like that. Okay, until his ass is gone. Okay. All right, guys. Love you. Click like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Bye.